Welcome to this episode of Unraveling Adoption, an intentional space to delve into adoption's complexities together. I'm Beth Syverson. I'm an adoptive mom of an amazing and wonderful 20-year-old son, Joe, who is here with me today.
Hello.
He helped co-create this podcast, and he wanted to hop on today at the new year and give a little update. So welcome, Joe. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is great. New year feels like a new me, literally. I feel like things are going well. I'll update you in a second about what I have coming up for my life. And yeah, we can get started, I guess.
Yeah. So for those that don't know you, you were recently on co-hosting an episode with Nam.
Yeah.
But we didn't talk about you very much. You were just talking about transracial adoption with our guest. So where have you been? Why are you coming back today at the first of the year?
I have been just kind of trying to recoup myself for the new year. I've really been focusing on bettering myself for physical or for mental. I've gotten my driver's permit, and then I'm really excited for that. And then also I got into college in OCC. This is the second college I've enrolled into, but I'm really excited for this one.
Yay!
Yeah.
Yep. You registered for classes. You're all set to go.
Yeah.
Very, very good. And for those that haven't been paying close attention or haven't known you for a long time, what kind of struggles have you been dealing with in the last several months?
Several months has been substance abuse and mental health. It's really trying to launch the idea of launching as an adult. And it's really, really hard. And I guess that's what everyone says. It's hard. It's not going to be easy, but I've accepted it and I'm willing to do the work.
Yeah.
And today or a couple of days, well, today really is the solidified decision is that I'm going to quit marijuana for not forever, but it's going to for one day at a time. That's how people should look at it. You don't have to, but that's how I'm looking at it to keep myself afloat.
Yeah. Now, a lot of people think, oh, marijuana, whatever. Everyone smokes marijuana. What has it done to you having used cannabis for 6 years?
It's given me a dependence. I think people have understood that with other substances, there's a dependence sometimes with it. I've definitely become dependent on it whenever I get in anxious situations or uppity situations. I use it to calm down, which isn't good because I need to be present in those situations. I shouldn't be high. And I guess it's not really I kind of lost train of thought.
Oh, that's okay. So what does weed do to you?
Oh, okay.
How has it kind of derailed you?
That right there is an example. Memory is very bad.
Memory.
Yeah, memory is horrible. I can't remember 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But it's hindered me in a way that I am not essentially like lazy, but unmotivated. And it's hard to get out of bed, not in a lazy sense, but there's a weight. And then it's like, I can't get up until I have a bowl or I know I'm going to get weed. So.
Yeah. A lot of people might call somebody that's struggling with weed addiction lazy, or people might call themselves lazy. I think you've called yourself lazy in the past.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you're not lazy. That's what pot does. That's exactly what it does. It makes you super unmotivated.
Yeah. I'm dealing with the addiction. Yeah.
Yeah. And for somebody that's adopted, to me, it makes total sense that you would have self-medicated as a young teen, transracially adopted, bullied teenager that hadn't had any support around your adoption, really. Yeah. I didn't really know what I was doing. And it makes total sense that you would have self-medicated with something that kind of numbs everything out.
Yes.
Seems like a beautiful strategy until it's not.
That's what I was going to say. I had a whole idea is that there's a limit. It will sustain you for a limit and then it will stop. And then you are in a habit of using that, but it's not even working at that point. So you're just wasting your time and money. So. Yeah.
It's not even doing anything for you anymore.
Yeah.
And so you have to keep using more and more potent stuff probably.
Yep. It's the tolerance buildup. It's just your body has developed a tolerance. I kind of forgot how that works, but it's used to it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really need it anymore because it's kind of already programmed to be in that headspace. I don't even remember what it's like to be sober.
Right.
My experience is this is sober.
Mm.
So,
and how much time do you have so far without weed?
Oh, how many hours has it been?
Since I saw you?
Mm-hmm.
6?
Yeah.
6 hours?
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so 6 hours sober, and do you feel different already?
No.
No, okay.
Like, this is like my baseline for under the influence of marijuana.
Okay. Just kind of like you're kind of always sort of high because of the way marijuana sticks around. And
well, it's weird for me now. It's not even like a high. Like, it's just like it just makes my eyes go down a little bit, and it's not even like a high anymore. It's just like this sense of calm.
Yeah.
It doesn't really do anything what it used to do.
Yeah.
Like where it was giving me like psychedelic stuff, and it's not. It's definitely not where it used to be.
Ah. So earlier today when we were together, you were saying some things that you're going to do to make sure you get the support you need. Do you want to list off a few of those for maybe someone else who might be struggling or who might have a friend who's struggling?
Well, I said that I'm going to reach out to people or a specific person that can help me or hold me accountable. I'm going to use my time in a healthy manner, like distract myself, probably go to some sort of recovery for support, not for like the actual thing itself, but for just the community and understanding that I'm not alone.
So one of the online groups?
Yeah, any. I can even go to NA or AA. Yeah. I'll go. It's just it depends if I can get there. Yeah.
And you had talked about going out and running or doing something physical.
Oh yeah, running.
Yeah.
Physical, the endorphins, extremely, extremely helpful. I see it after the fact. Like right now I can see like, oh wow, running helped me so much. But when I'm in that fiending headspace, it's like, it won't help. It won't help.
Yeah, the disease, the weed kind of lies to you.
Yeah.
And says, no, you don't need that. You got me. I'm good.
It's like myself and the weed combined. It's not just one or the other. It's like I'm synergized with it.
You're like a team.
Yeah, it's like a very unhealthy team.
Sometimes we talk about the angel and the devil on your shoulder.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really believe in angels or devils really, but like that negative talk.
Yeah. The energy or whatever.
Yeah. So you're going to support yourself with calling people, me or Jan or your friend who's sober and is kicking your butt in a friend kind of way. And reaching out, getting exercise, distracting yourself. That all sounds really good. That sounds really good. And you're kind of looking forward to going to school in about a month. And so this is kind of what the impetus is so you can go to school and be successful.
That was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back, I guess, is the idea that I need to be good for school.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be a lead into bettering my life.
Yeah. Now, if you didn't quit weed, if you just stayed what you were doing, how would school go?
There could be two ways.
Okay.
It could be fail, or it could be I put along not doing my best, like doing very minimal work, half-assing things, kind of the average stoner college curriculum,
Yeah, we all know what that looks like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason that stoners kind of look and act the way they do, because it just makes you kind of not care so much.
It's the chemical reaction with your body. It is a depressant and a psychedelic somewhat.
Keeps you out of reality and makes things seem different than the way they really are.
Yeah.
That's really good, insightful that you could imagine what it would be like.
Yeah.
And I agree, those two scenarios seem about right to me from the past and from other people I've known.
The past is Cerritos, is I know from that experience is that is what my downfall was. And now I know from that experience that I can not make the same mistake.
Yeah. So you tried another community college for a couple of weeks and you were using during the time when you were going to college?
Probably. I was with you guys. I was like about to use, or I was using. It was around that time of everything falling apart.
Yeah. I think you were fiending really bad and maybe you snuck some in or something.
Yeah.
But your mind wasn't in school.
No, it wasn't.
It was like, how can I get out of this?
Yeah, it was. I don't know what's different. I don't want to say it's different. It's just life. But I've noticed that right now it's not like my mind's on just drugs and that's my life. I have a life now. Like I have music that is kind of something. I have a girlfriend that I love, and I really want the best for both of us. So, and I have a family. I don't want to ruin that. That's what I fear.
Yeah. Well, it's been, I think, 3 years since when you went to Cerritos.
It's been that long?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
you've been on those supplements from Wired Biohealth.
Yes.
Do you think that has anything to do with your ability to be in this space where you can try recovery again?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's not 100% the reason, but it's a big chunk, I would say. It's obviously, we don't know if I wasn't on this and
it's hard to imagine
what would happen. But if I'm on it and it's working well.
Yeah, you seem a lot more focused. Even yesterday or the day before when you registered for classes, I hopped on Zoom with you to make sure and help you navigate the crazy, complicated system to register for classes. And we got to a certain point and I said, do you want to do this next section now or another day? And you said, oh, let's do it now. Like, really? That you would have never said now before. Yeah. I feel like the supplements have allowed you to dig in and do some, some of the not so fun stuff, the kind of stuff that you normally would toss away.
Yes.
But that is super necessary for just living, that kind of thing. Yeah.
You know what's really shocking? I downloaded a scheduling app.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah. It's called Monday.
Okay. I think I've seen that around.
It's really, I don't want to promote or anything, but it's really, it's really interesting. And I'm just going to keep my eye on it and keep my schedule down. And I think I can get going because I'm realizing that I've been just on the surface of finding myself.
Yeah.
If I dig a little deeper, I can really heal, I think.
Yes. Because the cannabis keeps you on that surface level.
Yeah.
It keeps you unable to really dig in.
It keeps you above or on the surface. You can't really get deep.
Like on a different plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. And getting deep is hard. I mean, I don't blame you for not wanting to go deep sometimes and just wanting to be faded and oh, I don't want to deal with life. I don't blame you at all because I know there's a lot of pain in there and everybody has a lot of pain, but especially, transracially adopted people and who knows, what all you went through when you were really little and even in utero. So that pain is deep and difficult.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's the key.
And I think it's also me this time. I want it so bad because I know every other time it feels like there's been a outside something trying to get me to be sober. But this time it's I have to make the choice. It's the hardest time it feels like because it's taken so long. I've tried to quit, but then I fall back. I take myself back. There's no one pushing me this time. So I have to really climb the ladder myself. And it's a learning curve.
Yeah. You're realizing, you're 20 now and it's starting to dawn on you that it's you, life depends on you, whatever you decide to make out of it and whatever support you can find. And I think that's really smart. And that's kind of what launching is about.
Yeah.
Everybody has to figure out what works best for them. I tried to get you sober a lot of times and it worked for a time. We got you into rehab or we got you sober at our house or whatever. But if you're not on board completely at that time,
it's just not
going to happen yet.
You did it out of good.
Yeah, but from the outside, it's extrinsic instead of intrinsic. It's always much better if you can get there inside your own self.
Yeah, rather than being pushed or
coerced or manipulated or begged. Maybe some people like you and me both are people pleasers, and we're just okay, I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
But if it's not really coming from inside of you, it may not be sustainable. But it sounds like for today, you are seeing kind of this bigger picture of success at school and how you want to make a life for yourself and how the way you're going with the weed is kind of a dead end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also want to say that I'm not against weed. I understand there's health benefits and there's people that can maintain while smoking it.
Yeah.
It's just me personally, it worked for a little bit, but then it's fallen off. It's pedestal. And now I have to take life by, I don't know, by the reins.
Yeah. Is that the right cliche? That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And oddly enough, after all that our family's been through with addiction, I am still supportive of access to drugs for adults, of course. And marijuana helps a lot of my friends. I mean, criminy.
Yeah.
We live in California, so a lot of people smoke weed on the weekends or to go to bed or whatever. And great.
It's not a 24/7 thing that I've made it to be.
Yeah. So certain people try it and go, oh, I'll take more of that, please. And more. But you were one of those. And so cannabis is definitely addictive.
Yeah, because every single one of my friends, like my original friends,
the ones that introduced it to you,
the ones from high school.
Yes.
Yeah. They all got off of it.
They're off.
And they're chilling now.
They're going to college or having a career or whatever.
They're going to college. They do the thing. And I'm the one person that I got left behind, it felt like.
Aww. But they're reaching down and helping you, though, now?
Yeah, they're true friends. They're true friends. And they may have their own beliefs, which are not my beliefs, but they have good ideas. Like, they want me to be better. That's like the main thing they want.
Well, I think we all want you to be wholly who you are and, you know, on your own healing path. Everybody has to find their own healing path, and you are definitely on yours. And I'm just super proud of you. And
thank you.
I'm trying real hard not to be super duper excited. Because I know it's just a one day at a time thing. Yes. And it may not be your time this time. I don't know. It may be. This might be your turning point and you'll move on, and I don't know. But whatever happens.
I just want to be at that place where my one friend, he's doing really good. He's the one that kind of mentors me. I want to be in his place helping someone else. That's my goal.
All right.
I want to be in his shoes.
Well, you're doing that already, my love, because you're on a podcast helping hundreds of people understand addiction a little bit better. Maybe there's some adoptive parents that are listening. Their kids started vaping or is stuck in some sort of cycle of addiction, and they can go, oh, this is what it looks like when someone can actually talk about it from a first person perspective and how hard it is.
Yeah. And I want people to know that you may not be the one who's going to be that gene who's going to get the addiction, but it's good to know because you can help someone or educate someone who doesn't know about this stuff.
It's good to know that it's a possibility. And especially for adopted people that don't know their birth family and their genetics. You found out when you did that genetic test, all the buttons are pushed for addiction from your genes that you're like, ding, 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 winner, winner. Your genetics line up perfectly for somebody that would get addicted to something. Right. So it's probably one or both of your birth parents had a struggle with addiction, and probably several generations back, I'm going to guess. But some adopted people might not have any. So adopted people, I think particularly need to be very careful. If you don't know your genetics, I would probably just assume that maybe that you might have some propensity because your trauma adds extra draw to an addiction, right?
Yeah.
What kind of advice do you have, Joe, for an adopted teen or young adult who is struggling with addiction? How would you suggest that they find their healing path?
It's definitely an individual journey. I can't tell you exactly what's going to be perfect for you, but what's worked for me is experience and not be judgeful of yourself or be hard on yourself too much, because if you aren't hurting yourself or others, you're just learning. And then the more you learn, that's part of life. You'll grow from that. And a great thing to do is meditate to get to those places that you can learn from yourself. That's a great way to, for addiction, find and understand what the exact reason why you're even addicted to something. Meditation is great for that. I think that's my best modality. And expression, to express. So you go in with meditation and express through art or exercise. So experience, not as in just like you have done something, but experience the world, experience life is what the best thing you can do is just experience it and learn from your mistakes if you make any.
I'm hearing a lot of self-compassion when you're talking, that you're encouraging people to have self-compassion, even people that are struggling with addiction.
And yes, it's hard to be self-compassionate when you're in the most deep part of pain. And I know you can't do it yourself. So if you can reach out, the best thing you can do is someone else can be that love for you. It may not be yourself at that point.
Yeah. So somebody else might need to nurture that in you until you can do it for yourself. So where do you find people like that?
By finding people like that.
Like, what if you have a parent or spouse or somebody that's like, when are you going to quit that stuff? What are you doing? You're ruining your life. Blah, 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 blah. Without the compassion.
That's where I say it's not for everyone. Like, I can't tell you exactly to do something and it's going to work, because some people may be so lonely that they have only themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And in that case, I would say, that's a really good one. Like, if you're lonely and you don't have anyone to reach out to, what do you do? That's someone is needed.
Yeah. That's when you try to find online groups or reach out beyond your own little circle, addiction groups or adoption groups. If you're an adopted person, I think those are really helpful to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because even if you don't have in your own circle somebody that's compassionate and helping you, just get through without judging you or without begging you every 5 seconds to quit whatever you're doing, there are people all around the world who are willing to do that for you.
Yes.
And you just have to find them, but it's hard.
That have that space open for them, within them, to be that for you.
Yeah.
And then I think that's answering my question is, even if you have no one, reach out to someone, because it's better than hurting yourself or others.
Yeah. So reach out. I'm going to put in the notes a few groups. And of course, I have the community calendar, which has support groups all the time updated. It's unravelingadoption.com/calendar. And there are a couple of specific groups for adoptees and addiction. And I'm going to have David Bowl on soon, talking about addiction and adoption. He runs a group. There's a couple of groups out there. So I will list those specifically, and then also the calendar. But those are really good ideas. And there's lots and lots of people out there that are really wanting to help. You've had a few people in our lives that you've never met that are on your side, right? They'll text you every once in a while.
I've never met them in person. They just send me a text saying, we're rooting for you, or something like that. Yes. And it's like, that's something that I try not to take for granted, because a lot of people don't have that, So I want to be that person for someone else if I can be.
Yeah.
I'll try my best,
Yeah. Well, I think you've always done well when you help other people, when you focus on helping other people, and then it actually helps yourself in the meantime. Yeah. So I think that's a very good tactic. And again, just by being on the pod and helping spread the word about this is helping a lot of people.
And I think another thing for someone in crisis who is either not crisis, but is down, that needs someone, by going out and looking for that someone, you can think about it like, I'm helping someone else by getting out of myself. So then you don't have to focus on that pain anymore. You can focus on helping. And that's a good emotion. So I hope. So even if I'm in crisis and I feel like no one's there, either reach out to someone who's going to help you, or reach out to someone who needs help.
Either way.
Because it's just going to get you out of your mind each way.
Yep.
It really gets you out of your head.
Gets you out of your own self, out of your own head, out of your own thoughts that keep spinning and spinning and spinning in the same direction. I think that's great advice. And I really look forward to having you more involved with the podcast. You're doing some behind the scenes work with me, and you can be on whatever podcast episodes you want to be on as co-host. And we have a bunch of guests lined up already, but it would be great to have you as involved as you want. Your story, your life story is very intense and amazing, and you're definitely on your healing path, and I'm super proud of you.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate you hopping on and starting our new year. I'm really glad to let everybody hear your voice again, and I hope that they hear it again and again and again throughout this year.
Yeah, of course.
Now, before we close, I wanted to give you a heads up about an event that's happening today. If you're one of the people that listens to the episodes right away, Monday, January 8th, I'm hosting a psychoeducational workshop called How to Change Well. And if you're listening later than that, I encourage you to go to unravelingadoption.com/events. Whatever events I've got going on will be there. All the ticket information is there for Monday's event as well. Is there anything else that you wanted to say before we wrap up?
Our usual.
All right. Joey and I want you all to stay safe.